Something that, in my opinion, causes so many problems for so many learners of mathematics and which horribly affects their learning in such a negative way are shortcut methods. These include things like SOHCAHTOA for trigonometry, the bus stop method for division, kiss and flip for dividing fractions, or is it multiplying fractions, CAS diagrams, lists of miscellaneous steps for solving quadratic equations or rearranging equations. The list goes on. A word of warning though, if it has a name like bus stop method or is reduced to an acronym like SOHCAHTOA, then it's probably no good. For a significant proportion of learners of mathematics at various levels, GCSE and A-level included, it seems to be an expectation now that there is always a quick or shortcut way of doing something in mathematics. And the fact is, though, that some things in mathematics cannot be simply reduced to a bullet point list of set steps for you to mindlessly follow. If you rely on shortcut methods for everything in mathematics, solving simultaneous equations, finding the nth term of a sequence, whatever, then in reality, you're making the whole process so much more difficult for yourself. Sadly, because many of these shortcut methods have just become standard teaching practice now in the UK, so much so that it's rare to have a student who is taught otherwise in some cases. And then the unfortunate learners who are fed this nonsense have no real appreciation for what makes mathematics what it is. Mathematics is a fundamentally logical subject. To do mathematics effectively and to solve problems in mathematics, then you have to have a thorough enough understanding of this logic. Now, of course, I understand that not everyone enjoys mathematics and wants to learn about it. Nevertheless, shortcut methods will not make life any easier for you. Learners come to think of mathematics as just a set of weird tricks. In many cases, they never even start to form any sort of idea about the logical nature of mathematics. And ironically, many of these learners accuse mathematics of not making sense. And that's because the subject has been stripped of its logic and sense through nonsense shortcut methods. And it's a shame that many people who say that they hate mathematics have, in many cases, never even been shown what mathematics really involves. They may still hate mathematics even if they've been shown, but at least they'd hate it for what it is in that case. Now, I'm not completely against shortcut methods, though. Once you understand what you're doing, then it's natural to look for shortcuts. But these shortcuts are what you're figuring out for yourself based on already existing knowledge and solid understanding. You understand the underlying logic and can always return to that logic whenever you need to. The shortcuts that you find are your shortcuts, and they make sense to you. The shortcut methods that are taught in the classroom are probably figured out by someone who understands mathematics very well, who's figured out the logic and enjoys the subject. But these shortcut methods are often stripped of much of their original logic, which therefore makes them totally unsuitable for learners of mathematics. Learners end up trying to memorize dozens of sequences of seemingly random and illogical steps to solve quadratic equations, to add fractions, to calculate percentages or reverse percentages, whatever they are. It's almost as if maths learners can't be trusted with logic or can't be expected to understand the logic of mathematics, so they have to be patronized and have their learning undermined and sabotaged by these truly awful and totally ineffective shortcut methods. And it grinds my gears.